All right, here's a nice question. 30-year-old woman. She has been pregnant 3 times. She's had 2 live births. 40 weeks now. She presents with regular contractions. She's only taken prenatal vitamins. No abnormal history. Her cervix is 5 centimeters dilated. So physiological changes show an increased expression of connexin 43. The molecular changes facilitate what? So to answer this question, the correct answer is going to be increased intracellular communication via gap junctions. And let's just break this down super simply. So as a woman gets close to giving birth, her uterus, which is the big, huge muscle that pushes the baby out, needs to be really strong and coordinated. Normally, the muscles are going to work independently, so they don't need to talk to each other. But if the uterus would try to contract like that, it'd be weak and uncoordinated. So the solution is estrogen. And we're going to start making the uterine muscles work together by increasing oxytocin receptors. So it makes the cells more sensitive to oxytocin, which is the labor hormone. And then also connexin 43, which is like a gap junction. And this is going to allow the muscle cells to kind of talk with each other. The gap junctions, so like what they do and why they matter, they're made of connexin 43, and that lets calcium and ions flow between the cells so they can contract together instead of randomly. So the result is the uterus then will squeeze in one big powerful motion, and that pushes the baby out. So, gap junctions basically are communication systems that allow the uterine muscle cells to work. So looking at the correct answers here, so B, increased intracellular communication via gap junctions, is right. And the reason why is because this is going to let the muscles share those signals so that the uterine contractions can be stronger. So let's look at why the other ones are wrong. A, increased or enhanced calcium storage in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So calcium is needed for muscle contraction, but this is about storing it, not sharing those signals. Right? So it's all about the signal sharing to cause those contractions, and labor needs coordinated contractions, not just storage. C, strengthening of myocyte adherence to the cadherin proteins. So cadherins, what are those guys? Those are like the glue between the cells, and it doesn't help them communicate. It just kind of links them together. So it'd make the uterus like stronger, but it would make them coordinated. So it's not that. D, improved anchoring of the myocytes to the matrix. That means the cells stick to the outside environment, like the skin sticking to tissue, but labor is about the cells working together, not like the sticking. So it's not going to be this answer. And then E, increased barrier function to prevent paracellular solute. That would be blocking things from passing between cells, like the blood-brain barrier, and labor would not need that blocking. A more in-depth way of thinking about some of these answers, like D would be improved anchoring, would be like the hemidesmosomes, which are made of integrins, which anchor the epithelial cells. And so it's not that. And also another important note is that for D, the hemidesmosomes are targeted in a bullous pemphigoid, a dermatological condition, autoimmune skin blistering disease. And so for D, you would select this if the condition were bullous pemphigoid. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, you could also select C for loss of E cadherin cells. If you had like loss of these cadherin cells, that could be causing that could be seen with metastasis in different cancers. And other than that, that's pretty much it for this question. So hopefully if this was helpful, then you can go ahead and like and subscribe. You can pause and look at any of these explanations, but should be good to go. So like and sub if this is helpful for your next questions.